Hello and welcome. This is my exhibition as part of Open Studios, my virtual tour of paintings that I've been producing over the past year. This little video will be entirely about wildlife paintings, so come on, let's have a look around the show. Well, welcome to the exhibition. Let me show you around the studio space. So this is where it all happens. This is my work desk. I've got paints set out. These are all watercolour paints. That's what I'm working on just now. But I've stacks of oil paints here, which I'm often working on. I change between materials. You see I've got canvases and boards stacked up all over the place. These are all my kind of gels and mediums and things here, fixing materials. And here are my brushes. A young visitor once counted all these, and at that time I had 148. I think I've got more now. Some are for watercolours, some are for oils, some of them are very worn out through use, and of course eventually I throw some of them out when they're just unusable. But yes, a few of them I use all the time, but about 80% are just for particular jobs. You know, there'll be larger ones or more kind of unusual ends, and I think, oh, that's just perfect for a particular purpose. So let me show you a little bit about the paintings. Now, some of these were painted on the Isle of May last year in this beautiful weather, the sunny weather, which we've been enjoying quite recently as well. And that's really gave me the advantage of this wonderful light that I was trying to capture. So these were all started off out of doors, these kittiwakes, for example, and then finished off back in the studio. So I want to show you these 4 or 5 paintings. The kittiwakes, the oyster catcher here. You can see this one. I'm really pleased with that. And the puffins here, and the oyster catchers, which are lurking in the corner. They're great birds. There's actually a couple of them out on the beach just now. I don't know if you can see them. No, it's too far away. What a view. This is continually inspiring. But anyway, these were painted with watercolour and gouache on linen. This is the linen material. It's a very unusual material. I think I'm the only artist still alive who uses it. But the linen is treated with a kind of glue, and that allows it to take the watercolour and the gouache paint, which I've got here. So that's these. They're painted quite a large size, and they're framed in these fantastic handmade frames made by blacks in Glasgow. They're handcrafted, and they've got these hidden corners. Yeah, I think they really set the paintings off beautifully. This is a simple watercolour here, and forgive the glare. All the work, of course, is available to browse through on my website at derekrobertson.com, and I'll put links up through this. This is a very dark corner, so ignore the video with a terrible glare, but this really nice picture of a brown hare is from an animal I saw and sketched up the road. Eider chick painted on the Isle of May last year, waiting for the ferry to arrive, and this otter sketch, you see it's from a sketchbook page. You can see I've framed it with the edges there, and all the notes as well about the things that the things I want to remember for a finished painting. This otter that was playing in the surf, and I did the sketch of it over the course of a morning up on the Isle of Skye. Also from the Isle of Skye, this convocation of herons, and again a sketchbook page done on site and then tidied back up in the studio. I'm just going to show you, these are my framed prints. These are online as well on my prints pages at derekrobertson.com. I'll put the link up as well. They're available framed or unframed. They're on the website as framed. If you want a framed one, just email me and get in touch. Equally, for all the artworks, just call me. I'm going to have a series of Zoom meetings. You can call me, you can email me and arrange that, and I will give you a personal tour of the gallery and talk to you about individual paintings, and we can discuss getting things framed, reframed, dispatched, whatever. Please just get in touch to have a chat. I'd really like to talk about my work. And you can see me in the picture. Particular paintings hang better in different places. The camera picks up a bit of the glare, but I can give you a chat about non-reflective glass and about the lighting, which you can see I've got here and works brilliantly on this painting of the fox, which is a really dark painting, but the light really gives it a glow. And I can provide these lights as well. They're battery operated and they're on LED and they seem to last forever. This painting of the fox done in the reed beds one night was, well, a sketch from an observation in the reed beds, but I, of course, painted it up in the studio. It's an oil on linen, which gives it a fine texture, and it's given a matte varnish, which stops all the glare from it, so it really shines like this. It's great. So the next thing I wanted to show you was some of my sketches and work in progress. So this is just completed, this picture of water rails. And you can see this is a sketchbook page. It's done on a really rough textured paper. And it has notes about the things that I want to remember back in the studio. Birds calling and displaying, screeching to one another through the reeds, the first sedge warblers singing, that kind of thing. Things I want to remember back in the studio. Also here are some half-finished works. I painted this a couple of days ago and I still need to finish it off. These are the wrens building their nest in the reeds. Also smaller works which I started and I've just abandoned them. I need to get round to finishing them off properly. And some goldfinches and some bees here, this beautiful textured coloured paper. And this large one I'm working on, I'm going to pop it on the stand here. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's all sketched out. You can see just the pencil lines here. Bees on flowers in the meadow, and that's why I've got all these meadow plants here. This is the reference for that picture. Behind it, I've got this unframed work, not long finished, and I say it still needs to be framed. But these are puffins painted from sketches on the Isle of May. It's got a great light coming through on it, I'm really pleased with, and that's from layers and layers of detail, which I have built up using not just watercolour, but also gouache. A few more paintings here, direct observations. These are black guillemot, sketchbook page. Curlews, another sketchbook page with notes here. And a few direct paintings from sketches made on the Isle of May. This light doesn't do this one justice, but have a look on the website. And if there's a particular picture you want to have a close look at, I can send you a large image file. And this one is really great. Really pleased with the light on this. An unusual pose, looking down on the puffin in a sunny, sheltered spot. A little picture of a puffin flying. These are really hard to capture, but they've got this fantastic moment when they sort of stall in the air and you have this sort of snapshot of them turning and gliding, and it's really inspirational. This painting of red deer, painted from sketches made on sky, and really pleased with this lovely set of great crested grebes from Lindore's Loch, just a couple of miles away from me. I wanted to show you this. This is tree creepers, and this was worked up from sketches made exactly here on these trees. And this was a series of sketches done last winter, and the birds come into the feeders, and I just sat here inside and sketched the birds coming in, including these tree creepers. So there we go. I'm really pleased with that. Set off really well in this beautiful frame. And I've got these pictures of pandas. Now, this was from travels around China just a year ago. These are small paintings on a rag paper, which is slightly tinted. And these have come out really well. I wasn't sure how that would work, but when I started, I just got caught up in them. I'm going to show you a large painting I'm working on from those sketches a little later. And this is a framed painting of the bees and a hummingbird hawk moth. And we've got tree bumblebees now in the garden. So that's what these are here. And we're coming to the end of the work in the studio. There's a painting of puffin here, and the red squirrels, which we're very lucky to have in some of the local woods. So these were sketched from a couple of fox cubs at a badger set near here last summer. And some more pictures of puffins from the Isle of May. 3 of these smaller paintings. And lastly, this one of the puffins taking off. And again, I've got a spotlight on that, which is really showing it off well above the fireplace. And lastly, I'm going to just take you outside and show you my outdoor exhibition. So here we are. I've got a few works outside, being joined by a pheasant in the garden, including the underwater otters here, which is a large oil painting. And this smaller picture of the otter and cub. And this one's in a beautiful handmade silver frame by Frames Gallery by Hugh Goring in Perth. And here we've got roe deer, and these were painted in the reed beds. So I've got this one here, and this is a more finished composition, and they're both painted in the winter. And actually, if you look very closely across the river there, you can see the reed beds, which that's that golden line where I was sketching the deer, which I've turned up in my paintings here. Very large picture of pandas. This is about 6 foot by 4 foot in watercolour. Started, and I've just got busy with other things, but it's one of my projects to complete. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my exhibition of wildlife paintings. Please catch up with other collections of work, my landscapes and my narrative work and my folio of unframed paintings as well in my other videos, and you can find them by following the links here. Please also check out my original work and my prints online, and also my Etsy store, which has a collection of greetings cards and books and calendars. So I hope to catch up with you next time in one of my future videos, and thank you very much.